Good morning. Welcome to Nanda's house. I realize I have not posted in a while, a long while. Um, I'm going to apologize for that. I really didn't have any content in my head. Wasn't really sure where I was going to go with the channel. Um, right now, what I feel that my direction is for the moment is documenting this journey with MS. I know there's a lot of people out there with multiple sclerosis, a lot of people that are a lot worse than I am, a lot of people that are just starting their journey. And yeah, it came up full blown when I went to my grandson's graduation party on the 19th. Um, and his other grandmother, because my son and his father were divorced. So his other grandmother was there, and I believe it was her aunt. Um, has a daughter with MS, and they were asking me a lot of questions about MS and what I do. Um, and of course, I was stressed from the situation, wasn't moving so well, but I did manage to drive out there by myself. And then I met my husband and my son down at camp. Um, so anyway, I realized that there's a lot of people out there with questions. And you know what? If I could give hope to one person about, well, man, this Nanda lady, she's doing it. Maybe I can do it. Nanda's house also initially was a avenue that my kids and my grandkids could look back at what their mother and grandmother were doing. And I don't know. I don't know if they will or not because they haven't even like my channel or subscribed to my channels. So I don't know what they're gonna do. Um, but there is some wisdom that the older generation has, and YouTube right now is allowing that avenue that I can document what I do. And we're not snapping beans anymore on in the breezeway like I did with my grandmother. We're doing everything electronic. So here it goes. Um, so yes, we have a lot going on the month of the end of May, where we're at now, and into June. We do plan on taking a vacation to Wyoming in June, and I hope I need my significant I need my husband's help with this to document. I'm not sponsored. We got a fold and go wheelchair. It's FAA compliant, supposedly. See how that document how that really works for me. Um, and so far, I really like the fold and go. We went to my son and I went to the park, and obviously, I am not walking and running around while he rides his bike at the park. So we managed to get the fold and go out of the van. My husband's like, "How did you do that?" Because the thing weighs about 60 pounds, a little bit more. So we managed to get the thing out of the van. Gravity helped to give it out. Getting it into the van, I got it in so far, and Russell had to walk in through the van and actually pull on the wheelchair as I pushed, and that's how we got it in. Since then, we have got my words are escaping me. Um, it's like a crane type thing. My word, excuse me, my words. But anyway, it folds down. It's a ladder. It collapses, and you extend it. You put out the braces, and you use the wheelchair's battery to run the electric motor to lift the wheelchair up and down into the vehicle. Um, so we got that. That is now in the van. Uh, Honestly, we're not going to have enough room from the van to go to camp. I'm not really sure how this is going to work, but there it is. So plan on getting a lot of use out of that this year. We're not taking the lift thing to Wyoming. And I need to double check on our rental car while we're out there because if it needs to be a hatchback. And Otherwise, I don't know how we're going to get this thing in and out of the trunk of the car because it all collapses up. I'll have to show it to you someday. It all collapses out. And since it is so heavy, I don't want to damage the rental car because that would kind of stink. So anyway, so what's happening is we had the graduation party. The weather here has really been cold and rainy, which is not doing me any good. Attempting to get our garden in because I just still do garden. We still prep. It's looks different now that my MS has progressed. Um, but I'm working on that. I'm working on that. So today, um, I saved these bean seeds from these are green. Oh shoot, these beans, they're nether all over my floor. It's awesome. Um, so I saved these seeds, and I don't have any that were in the refrigerator or in the freezer from this because that's also how I save my seeds is in the freezer, so they don't get their germination. They germinate a little bit longer. Um, well, I'm gonna have to fix that later, I guess. So that is on my list to do today. Unfortunately, I have a long list of things to do, and this is the point I started this whole video, is that the most frustrating thing with having MS is that the mind is coming back online from being gone last year. So the mind is willing, the body ain't. And I realize as you get older, this is an issue where your mind is willing to do things, the body isn't going to do that, and you need to adapt to that. So um, the goal is to get the green beans in today. And I planted zucchini a couple days ago. I have some area left in the raised bed. I was gonna do lettuce, but I don't have lettuce seed, and I don't have the desire to go out and buy any right now. So I do have carrot seeds. I'm gonna put in the carrots. Carrots for us are hit and miss. They don't always do so well, honestly. Um, but I'll just fill up the space and trust that I'll get something out of it. Um, so that's the goal today. I also started some pepper plants that aren't growing well, but a long time ago, I started with a hydroponic system. I really do like hydroponics, um, but it's buried in the weeds. It's a tough coat thing. I'll have to show that to you too. And the goal is to really clean that out and put the pepper plants, which aren't really doing so well anyways, put them in the hydroponic system, see if they do any better. The thing with green peppers is that they don't die at the end of the season. I've actually overwintered them in here and then planted them, not planted them, but taken the pot back outside. So I kind of like toyed around with my husband today. Well, if we put those peppers in the hydroponic system, in theory, we could bring the whole thing in. Yeah, 2 men and a boy. To bring the whole thing in and keep it going all winter and maybe have peppers all winter. But I would need better grow lights, honestly. I do have grow lights. They aren't so great. But even with my sliding door window, because of the trees and that, I'm not going to get a lot of light. So I don't know, we'll play with that. If not, we'll just overwinter them and see where it goes. So those are some things that are happening here around the house. School is almost done, one more week. And then I have the summer where our 7-year-old is home. And of course, we have a vacation and going to Wyoming at the end of June. And then we come back. The next weekend is 4th of July weekend. And football practice, because he's in flag football again this year. Football practice starts the middle of July. And there's the summer, honestly. It's I like the warm weather, not hot weather. I like the warmer weather. My body acts a little bit better with it. I seem to be heat intolerant, and cold intolerant. I found out the reason why, though. I kind of ran across the reason why is because the cold actually increases spasticity. Who would have thought? And so that's why I freeze up and can't move. So those are some of the things that we're doing. Also, since our last video, I'm still using the towel patch. And I didn't think they were working. I spent a couple days without them and said, yeah, I'm really not really doing so well. Put them back on, and I find that the towel patch for myself takes really helps with the pain. And even though my legs from the knees down are kind of numb and heavy right now, I need to get up and moving, need it to get warmer. It would be worse without the towel patch. So they do work. They are worth the money because they do last 2.5 years. I bought the middle grade, and at the time I bought them, they were $800. Yes, I know that's a lot of money up front, but it does help. So got to figure out what I'm going to do about this tape thing. I didn't, I'd like the necklace, but I didn't think the necklace worked as well as when you actually put them on your skin. That was my own personal thought. The other thing I did is I had prescribed physical therapy, which I have stopped because they wanted to leave some room for Medicaid at the end of the year when I normally tank, when it starts getting dark and nasty, because Medicaid only pays for so many days. And so they wanted to leave some time at the end of the year. So we did that. And then what else? At the same time, I found a site, the missing link. If I can figure it out, I'll tag it down below, with Dr. Gretchen Hawley, I think you pronounce her last name. She's a physical therapist. She specializes in MS, and I have subscribed to her program. I think it's $174 a month. And I do notice improvement with that. In fact, I think I will notice more improvement doing that than I did with the other physical therapy. Probably because I'm exercising more, and the exercises are the same but different. You'd have to look into it. One of the things I noticed is that we have recliners, and you have to actually take your legs and push the recliner down. And what I noticed yesterday was that I was able to push the foot part all the way down and have it all the way. I have it all the way down in one swoop instead of having to like individually like kick it a little bit to get it to go down. And so that was my aha, like, wow, this stuff is really working. My hamstrings are getting stronger. Considering at Christmas, I was asking for a footstool because I couldn't kick the thing down at all, and nor could I actually get my right leg up when it was reclined. So that's growth. Still walking with a cane. I like to get rid of that. I go pick up milk at a local farm. I'd like to be able to walk in without a cane, get my milk, and carry my gallon of milk out by myself without the cane. I'd like to be able to go get a pizza and be able to by myself and be able to go out to the car, into the pizza shop and get the pizza and go out to my car and put the pizza. Because when you're with a cane and you only have one arm, things like that are difficult. And when they're big, heavy things, like the milk, it's 2 half-gallon jugs. So we're talking at least 16 pounds there. Pizza, big, bulky boxes. When you're thinking about those big, bulky things with a cane, it doesn't always work. Honestly, it doesn't. Uh-oh. My husband just sent me a text message. Anyway. So anyway, that is what is happening. I have to shoot a garden video if I get out there. I will preface this by my husband has helped me a lot. I give him a lot of kudos. He did everything with raised garden beds. I think it's 30 by 50 out there. We have 9 on each side, 9 beds. So the equivalent of 18 beds, raised beds. It does make it easier. And the width is we can actually get a tractor down through the bottom, through the middle to fill up the dirt. So in theory, I should be able to get an electric wheelchair through there. If that ever came to pass. I'm not sure between the beds. I haven't tried that. I'll have to try that. So he planted a lot of it this weekend. It was a working holiday weekend. And so I am slowly going out, and my goal is one thing a day. And then I know it will all be planted. In fact, it almost is planted. By the time I do the beans, all I'll have left really are peas, and I will have wax beans. I don't plant a lot of those because the Cherokee wax that I plant goes gangbuster, and we end up with a lot of wax beans. So I don't plant as much of those. But anyway, so that's what it is. Take you on the MS journey, whatever we do around here. And like I said, it's getting busy. So if you like these videos, or you know somebody with MS that you could find some inspiration from this, make sure you like, subscribe, and share. And I will see you the next time. Bye.